Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so the next question here is how to set up a password or how to password protect your company file. How do you do that? Okay, so there's a few informations missing. So how do you set up a password or password protect your file?
Use a complex password.
No, how do you get to the window to set it up? Anybody?
We don't know.
You don't know? I did show you this in chapter 12. Okay? So I'll tell you the first one. The first one is it's going to ask you to create an admin password during your Easy Step interview. Now, what if you skip that portion? I did teach you this. If you skip the password or to create the password, okay, how do you set that password after the interview's over? Come on, guys.
Well, it says to select the company menu and set up users and password.
Good, correct. You're going to go to company on the menu bar. Company. And it says right here, set up. Let me find it, sorry. Set up users and passwords. Yes. Right? I even showed you how to create other users on this platform. So then, if you're the accountant or you're the administrator, you may want to block off a few sections so then someone else doesn't have to place it in there. Remember, I did teach you the guys list to how to set up a user and set up a password for them, right? So this is how you password protect your QuickBooks, right? If you're admin, you can set up your own password or change your password, okay? If you are going to set up your user, right, only admin has the capability to create a user, all right? Now, if you forget your password and you locked yourself out of the data, unfortunately, you're going to have to contact Intuit to retrieve a new password or change your password. So make sure that if you are using a company file and you are the admin, don't forget your password. Okay, you cannot change the password whenever you can if you forget it. Right? So good. So how to change your password is right here. And it's going to be company on the menu bar. Okay. Now the last question for this section is how and why to use preferences. What is the purpose of you setting up your company preferences?
For preferences will make it easier for you to navigate in QuickBooks.
Good, good. So there are two There are two types of profiles for setting preferences. What are they?
Edit and preference.
Okay, so that's a way. My question is, what are the two kinds of preferences that you can set?
Company preference.
Company preference, good. So one that's going to do the overall company file, company preferences.
Then yes.
My preference.
Yes, user preferences for your personal use. Whoever the computer that you're using on, you can set your own user preferences. So yes, they do make it easier for you to do your transactions. Okay, so that's why you would use it. Okay, to make transactions easier and to your liking. Okay. All right. So the next section is going to be list management. Okay. So here is how to manage your list. So we did talk about this. How do you add items or things into your list? Okay, how do you add to your list? So let me use a chart of accounts for an example. How do you add to your list?
Go to list.
We are, I'm going to use the chart of accounts. How do you add a new
So you can go right click.
right click?
and add new.
What
Mm-hmm,
account you want to add,
mm-hmm, or new?
and then go new.
Mm-hmm. You can, or yes, you can go to account and you can go to new account or new. Good. Now, what about deleting your entries?
Right click. Delete.
Okay, so you said right click and delete. Now, what's the rule on deleting your items or accounts? What's the rule that
You won't be able to retrieve anymore to delete it. So it would be better to block. Is that what you said?
that's for another account. Now, what's the rule that you have to follow when it comes to deleting anything on QuickBooks?
Delete.
Okay. Rule of thumb is you should never delete anything in QuickBooks, okay? I'm going to type that in bold or in caps. You should never delete anything in QuickBooks. All right? But given the circumstances where you need to delete it because you created it, and or when you create your obviously generic chart of accounts through the easy step interview and you don't actually use that account, then yes, you could delete it. Now, the catch is that account, you can only delete the account if it's never been used. Okay? Only delete only delete item /account if it has never been used. Okay? That's the only catch that you have here. Now, if you can't delete, what should you do? If you've already used the account or used the item, but you don't use it anymore and you can't delete it, then what do you do? Yes. If you no longer need the account / item, inactivate it. Okay, inactivate it. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, what about editing? Editing's pretty straightforward. You can right click on it. Edit. You can edit using the pencil. You can edit at any given time. So editing information, yes, you can just right click and edit. Or you can in each list of your whether it's an item or an account, at the very bottom you can just go ahead and click that little drop down menu to edit your items. What about merging? How do you merge accounts or items?
Right click and then merge.
No, you cannot right click and merge. See, right click, you cannot merge.
Compare the
So again, I showed you guys this in chapter 12. How do you merge in an account? How do you merge in an account? It's in chapter 12, guys, under setting up their chart of accounts. We already in the chart of accounts. How do you merge entries for accounts, especially accounts? Okay, so you guys gonna have to do some reading because your test is going to also be on your reading. So in order to merge in an account, okay, you need to select an account that you do not or no longer want to use, or you want to select the account that you want to change. Okay, so for example, if I created, let me see, I have a utilities right here, and I have travels right here. Actually, no, that's a bad example. So I have telephone expense right here, and I have utilities right here. To me, I feel that my telephone expenses and my utilities, they belong into the same category. So instead of having telephone, I want it to become utilities. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the one that you don't want and you want to merge it into utilities. You're going to edit. You could double click to edit it. And, oh, dang it. Right, this is an expense. If you double click it, it's going to become a report. You're going to go edit. You're going to go to right click it. You're going to edit the account and you're going to change the name identical to the account that you want. If you use account numbers, you must also change the number to the account that you want to change this to. So for example, I don't think I memorized it. Utilities is 68,600. So if I'm going to change this, edit, you're going to edit the title to utilities. And you're going to change this number to 68600. And then you're going to go ahead and click save and close. Now the question is you're going to get this pop-up saying, you already have a name that exists. Do you want to merge them? And you say, okay. And once you've merged them, the minute you close this, telephone expense does not exist. It becomes utilities. Okay. So this is where the notion is that once you've done that, okay. What did it say? Subnames cannot be merged. Oh, okay. So this is a subname, sub-account. Sub-account? No, it's not. Okay, so you're supposed to change this, the name and the account name. Okay, so subnames. This could be sub-account. It's not a sub-account. Okay, so this says... Okay, so it's because it's a sub-name. Okay, so I don't know what that is. No. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take an account that exists in here. Oh, okay. I see what happened here. It's because this one is considered another account. So I need to, what is that? Other expenses? No, they're the same. Okay. Well, you're supposed to select the one you don't want and change it so then it looks identical to this. But I don't know what it means when it's a sub name. Oh, okay. So all of this entails other stuff. Okay. So, for example, anyways, so if there's something under it, then you can't do it if it's a sub name. So you want to make sure that they're main accounts before you can merge them. So again, maybe if you do that, you want to select the one that you don't want. Right click, edit the name so it changes the title that you do want it to become. Okay, so I chose a bad example. I chose something that already has like stuff under it. So so for practices at home, I would recommend you to review chapter 12 and be able to do it that way. So you're going to select the one that you don't want. You're going to edit the file or edit the name of the account, and you're going to change the name. And if you use account numbers, you're going to have to change the account numbers as well. All right, and that's how you merge it. You're going to get a window that says this name has already been used. Would you like to merge them? And you say yes. Okay. So again, select. Okay. For items, you can't combine items. You're just going to have to group them. Okay. And we'll talk about that when we do our inventory, when we do, I think we did talk about group items. This might be in chapter 12 again, when you can group things together in bundles or packages. Yes, you can create packages that include one or more items together, and you can't merge them together. You're going to have to only be able to create group items for them. So there's no way that you can merge them together. You can only group them together. Okay. So let me see if we're good on time. It is 10 o'clock. So we'll do this for a couple more minutes, take a quick break, and then come back to this. So here we're at items, okay? So it's about 4 questions. So how does QuickBooks use items to perform the necessary accounting behind the scenes? So again, this is when we used sales, right? Okay. When we create items, right? If we create items, it's meant for the sales process. We create items for inventory, things that we sell. We also create items for taxes, as well as create items for, maybe distributing discounts and other charges. So how does QuickBooks use items to perform the accounting behind the scenes? Okay, I'll give you another hint. Each item that you set up, it is associated or linked with what?
Product.
Okay, product, okay. But what do you need to have in order to create an item? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to items and list.
Do you need a chart of accounts?
Yes. So every item that you create, it has an account associated with it. So chart of accounts is definitely necessary to create in before creating a new item. So for example, if I created an inventory item, okay, a product that I sell, what's linked to it is a cost of goods sold account, an income account, and a sales account. I mean, income is sales. So you have an expense account and an income account. All right. So the whole purpose of items for QuickBooks to recognize it is that every item that you use, it becomes linked to an account. So for example, right, if I sell whatever it is, my photo sessions, what am I generating? I'm generating income. And then I also have to calculate how much costs is entailed to create that product or service. So that's exactly how it utilizes, this is how QuickBooks utilizes and makes note of what accounts to use in order to do the accounting behind the scenes. So in this one, I'm going to go ahead and write here, how does QuickBooks, every item is linked to a specific account, all right? And every time you use it for those linked accounts, then it will do the accounting behind the scenes, okay? All right, what are the different types of items and when to use each type? So again, those 9 types of items, all right? It is going to be in chapter 7, So I'm going to pull that up.
So this,
Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and pull up that file for you guys. QuickBooks. Chapter 7, I said. Chapter 7. Okay. And let me see. Where is my items? Setting up lists. Okay, so this is icon bar. Sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy. So here you go. Page 212 is going to be the list of all the items and when to use them. Okay, so definitely something that you guys want to review because every item that you have on here is important. Okay, so page 212. Okay, so you have the list of the 9 items, all right, and every single item that you have on there, obviously, we have a service. When do you use a service item? When you create a service. If you have inventory parts, those are generally your inventory that you are going to sell, items that you sell, your products. Okay. Other charges is anything that you want to charge on top of your items, right? Discounts, pretty straightforward. Sales tax, pretty straightforward. So make sure that you look at all of those items and yes, and know when to use and when to create them. Okay. So here you go. Question here is how to use the items for different types of scenarios. Okay, so here I gave you some examples here on when to use these type of items. So let's go ahead and practice this. So when you produce a specific price, or sorry, when you produce, oh my God, products for a specific price. What kind of items would you use to for products with a specific price? What kind of item would you create?
Discount?
You could do discounts. You can also do the inventory item itself because you can actually set the price here. So I'm here in my inventory asset. I can set my price right here for my sales price. Okay. The discount is going to be when you discount the price. So yes, you can use that item as well. Okay. So okay, subtotal. Okay, you can use subtotal to tally up the prices. All right, what about deleting entries? Okay, so again, rule of thumb, you shouldn't delete an item. Okay. No deleting. All right, but again, yes, if you can create an item or create a product or create an item, yes, you can right click and you can delete the item. Okay, if you created it and let's say you don't use it anymore, let's say I wanted to have a product that I sell, but I just never went through with it, you can always delete it. So you have that option. Okay. What about services for a specific price? Okay, so obviously services, we use a service item. Right, because you can also set the price on that as well. Okay. Okay, unique products or services that have different prices for each sale. Okay, right? You can use your discounts. Okay, you can also, you can also modify every single sailed item that you create. So if the price isn't what you want it to be, you can always change the you can always change the price. You could set up discounts, or you can create packages and just change the pricing of the actual group item. So yes, you can create group items as well. Okay. One service or product, pretty straightforward. One service or product is going to be using the inventory part, the service item, or a non-inventory part. And we'll talk more about that in chapter 8, okay? So, service. Okay. Okay, so right now it is about 10:20. So go ahead and take a 15-minute break and be back by 10, what's that, 35?
Yeah.
Yes, 10:35.